going on, Jerome's? So we're in the garage. We have to rant. And I want to ignore this, except Florio and his idiocy with the Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors stuff. Again, I understand it's a slow period and he's trying to get clicks. I respect it. I understand the economics of today's media, but you can't ignore it when it's affecting the discourse in between Jefferson and the Vikings, reportedly, as well as this affects how Joe 12-pack and Vikings fans see the situation, right? So we just have to clarify a couple things. So things are running rampant right now, and it felt like out of nowhere, some Justin Jefferson contract drama is cropping up. And we want to go through the timeline. So going back to the draft, after the Chargers took Joe Alt at 5 and Malik Neighbors went to the Giants at 6, Mike Florio, now this is before the Vikings selected J.J. McCarthy. This is actually during the draft, literally in like his garage like this. Could tell he's probably had a couple, right? And he's saying that source told me that the Vikings were trying to trade up to 5 to take Malik Neighbors and we're going to trade Justin Jefferson. That was literally where that rumor started. And we said at the time, seems a little bit ridiculous. And there was a small aggregation. Some of the sites ran with it, but of course the Vikings taking McCarthy and Dallas Turner, blew that rumor to the back page, right? And you would think that if there was something there, that thing was so juicy that more people would be in on it, whether it be Rap Sheet or Tom Pelissero, especially given his Minnesota connections, would have dug in on that, or Schefter or someone. But no, that was it. It was literally just Florio talking ish in his garage. And he may have had a source. He may have, right? But how reliable is that source, right? And it did seem like it was a single source. It didn't seem like it was double source. And also the fact that no one else unearthed anything to add on to that makes me think, okay, there's a little, draft day, smokescreen, whatever after the fact, right? But then Charlie Walters, Pioneer Press shooter, picked up on it on Sunday. And again, it's pretty easy to tell it went from single source from Florio. Right, so referring to that, I was like, oh, the Vikings were trying to trade up for Malik Neighbors. And then, since the Pioneer Press is the second newspaper of note here in the Twin Cities, it caught a little bit of steam. And also, people who may not have been aware of the Florio Neighbors Jefferson thing during the draft, all of a sudden it's like, oh, see what's happening here? See what's happening here? And then it gets embedded in the fan base a little bit more. And then it trickles up to the national media. Now, you got Connor Orr, NFL.com, and Burt Breer of Sports Illustrated talking about how the rumors of Malik Neighbors, whether they're true or not, Connor Orr specifically says, whether the rumors are true or not, could be affecting how Justin Jefferson feels about signing a long-term extension with the Vikings. So again, the number one rule of journalism is do not make yourself the story. And Florio has been making himself the story for years, and it's ridiculous. And again, I respect the hustle. Like, he's basically like a blogger with connections, and it's fantastic. And I understand we're basically just a YouTuber. That's all we are. Except we never claim to be a journalist. We never claim to be a reporter. We never claim to be that. We're literally just a fan with a camera and a microphone. That's it. That's it. Right. So the fact that if this is legit. Now, we always say when things are quiet, things are going well. When things are loud, things aren't going well. So maybe there's a little bit of turbulence as the Vikings are rounding third and trying to bring in this Jefferson deal, right? But if there is any legitimate discourse between Jefferson, his agent, and the Vikings because of some made-up Malik Neighbors rumor that Florio drunkenly shot off his mouth during the draft, that's inexcusable. And again, like Connor Orr is reporting, whether it's true or not, it could be an issue. And it's just absolutely damn ridiculous. And it's just, again, I wish we could ignore this stuff, but the reason why we always rant and rave and point out the national media and also local media's malfeasance is because it does affect the perception of situations. Because, again, I mean, Jefferson hasn't been posting anything cryptic on social medias. Respect to him. There hasn't been leaks from the Viking side clearly that says like, oh, Justin Jefferson's being ridiculous. He's asking for $45 million a year. There hasn't been that. So it honestly seems like the media is bored and they're trying to get clicks and they're trying to create some controversy out of whole cloth. That's what it seems like. Because why else would Charlie Walters of the Pioneer Press bring up a throwaway, unconfirmed line from Florio from months ago? From months ago. And then all of a sudden, the national media get a little sniff of that, and all of a sudden, they're like pigs searching for truffles too. Oh, maybe we can find some dirt. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. But again, just get this thing signed. And hey, also Florida is like, hey, if you're not going to pay them, it's only getting more expensive. Yeah. You don't think the Vikings know that? And the fact that the Vikings, under Wilf ownership, generally long-term extensions come in right before training camp at the end of July. And July 31st is kind of a big deal for accounting and fiscal purposes. No big deal. No big deal. Just sign Jefferson, end all this drama. And again, I get so annoyed because, number one, I respect your time. I respect that you get your information here. Maybe a couple laughs, maybe a couple inside jokes. That's fine. So it really pisses me off when people in the media, all they want to do is just get attention. Just like, here's that side of attention you ordered, as opposed to giving you legitimate facts. Just ridiculous, man. Anyways, that's it. Raw Real Rant. You guys know what to do. Skull, no production value.